What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Q, the movie collector, here again, back with another 4K review. And on today's video, we're going to be continuing along with my Western journey. As you know, again, I have to keep phrasing this. My journey started off with Tombstone, which led me to A Fistful of Dollars. And now we have arrived at the sequel to A Fistful of Dollars with For a Few Dollars More. Now I've heard a lot of people say, there's people out there that think that Fistful of Dollars is the weakest out of the bunch. I enjoyed it. And then, you got some people who consider A Fistful of Dollars the best out of it, which I know for a fact, just reading a bunch of reviews and hearing what a lot of people have to say, that there's a third one that's on the horizon that people say that's the best of the three films. But anyway, we're here to talk about For a Few Dollars More. So the movie starts off much like how the first one did. You got a guy wandering into town, picking up bounty hunting jobs, which in this case, you've got a character that's played by Lee Van Cleef. That's his name, Lee Van Cleef. And he goes by the Colonel. And he's dressed in all black. Like, to me, that's gangster. But anyway, he picks up his first bounty. He goes after a guy, collects his money, and then, he sits around in town and still tries to collect more bounties. But then Clint Eastwood's character enters in, which, of course, he's the man with no name. He enters in, does his whole little thing with collecting bounties as well, and he gets paid for it. And at some point they end up going after the same guy, which is he goes by El Indio, which strangely enough is the same guy who played as the bad guy in the first film. But different character. I guess that's how they did things back in the day. But anyway, I wouldn't let that deter me from watching this film. But then there's like this fun, really cool rivalry between Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef's character. There's a scene that I love so much in this film is when I guess Lee Van Cleef is getting ready to leave town, and Clint Eastwood, tells him he's got to stay because he's trying to figure out more about him. He ends up shooting his hat as Lee Van Cleef keeps going down to try to pick up his hat, keeps shooting it until he gets so far off in the distance to where Clint Eastwood's gun doesn't reach that far. And so then Lee Van Cleef gets up, pulls out that big gun, and he shoots off Clint Eastwood's hat, which I thought that scene was incredible. But the action in this movie is kicked up a good notch, and you can tell that compared to the first film, there was a lot more money involved as far as the budget. So they were able to do a whole set. They were able to film more action scenes. Like, this one definitely had a lot more action in it than the first one. And I really enjoyed that. One of the key things that still is about as memorable from the first film to this one is that score, especially the watch chimes. That watch chime music is beautiful. It is simply beautiful. And I forgot the composer's name. Ennio Morricone, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But his score, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And if it's about as good in these two movies as it is in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, I'm in for a treat. I love movie scores. Plain and simple. But let's get with the packaging. So you've got another chunky box set from Arrow. Should see here. So there's the front of it there. You can see there, nice little artwork. And then you've got the back there. If you want to take a look at the features there, there you go. You can pause it there too if you want to. And then underneath, in typical Arrow fashion, you got the slipcase. And again, just like they did with the first release, they wrapped the art around the entire thing. So still pretty cool. You also get your case with the movie and the Blu-ray in it, which is really packed in with special features. Again, I mean the special features are loaded again for this release. Um, you got your chunky booklet and you got your poster. But yeah, and I actually, I always flip the cover art because I think again this is the original theatrical cover poster that's on the front here. Um, so yeah, you get a lot. Um, and then as far as the features go, I mean, again, it's loaded. You've got a violent tale of vengeance, a newly filmed interview with film historian and critic Fabio Milani. Can't talk today. Mealy. I butchered it. No One Shoots at the Colonel. Newly filmed interview with filmmaker and Lee Van Cleef biographer Mike Malloy. This was really good. This is probably one of my favorite featurettes on here. It talks about, he goes into detail about Lee Van Cleef's career and how he didn't have much large roles at all leading up to this film. As a matter of fact, he had more side roles, and he wasn't in a lot of motion pictures prior to being on this film. And I think he was on his way out. I think he was about to retire, and Sergio Leone was looking for a guy, found him, flew him in last minute. The guy literally read over the script as he was up in the air and got there, and he was ready to go. And apparently him and Clint Eastwood knew each other from the Rawhide television series. So Clint Eastwood had to show him the ropes as far as Sergio Leone's directing style. But yeah, it was a really, really great featurette. And then there's a few others. You get one with it says Craft in the West, a newly filmed interview with Guidita Semi, the daughter of set costume designer Carlos Semi. I only watched that briefly. She talks about her dad as far as like his role as far as the sets and all that stuff. And then you also have, let's see here, Cuts and Rhythm, a newly filmed interview with editor Eugenio all these Italian names, I swear. You got Western Strings, a newly filmed interview with guitarist Bruno Battisti Di Mario. Timeless Voice, a newly filmed interview with singer Eda Del Orso. Let's see, a few notes more. A newly filmed interview with Morricone biographer. And you got a visual essay, which that was really good too. I really love that visual essay too. But the own location in Almeria in Granada. It's an archival featurette, but I enjoyed it. Again, I'm new to these series, so I've never seen this before. But I thought it was cool because he goes and shows you pretty much where certain segments of the film was filmed. And one interesting thing is the main town is still up there to this day. Like they got all of that. I mean, I think it's like a tourist attraction in Spain. But that was a really interesting sight as well. But yeah, that's enough of the special features. Now, let's talk about the transfer. Again, I have never seen the Kino 4Ks. So this is my first time watching this. I don't have any prior experience to watching the films before I watched this. And I can tell you, as far as it being as old of a film as it is, and knowing the troubled history that this movie has gone through over the years as far as restorations and all that, this looked great. This looked absolutely fantastic. I know in the first film, I know the nighttime scenes were kind of difficult, but they still look good. But in this one, everything looked great. I mean, it looked amazing. You'll see here in the pictures that I captured, it looked absolutely phenomenal. And I can only anticipate the good, bad, and the ugly is going to come out even better than what this looked like. And then the audio. Again, I'm watching these films with the original mono track. It does state when you watch it with the mono track, there are some bad elements in that audio track, but I thought it sounded just fine. Even the score even sounded amazing on it as well. I did kind of go back and forth between the mono and the 5.1. The 5.1 still sounds amazing, but again, I really wanted to get that originality when watching it. So I think when I go back through after I get the good, bad, and the ugly, and I watch it in its original form, I'm gonna go back through and rewatch all three, and I'm gonna play it with that 5.1 because I only teased the 5.1 for myself, and that 5.1, the times I did go back and forth, it sounded great. It sounded really great. Arrow did an amazing job with this release. What can I say? If you're a fan of westerns, spaghetti westerns, definitely pick this up. This is definitely a great cop. Now, I can't speak for people who are sitting on the Kino releases. They're just, on the fence about actually getting the Arrow release. But I will say, I mean, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it for this alone. They did a phenomenal job with this. And now I'm excited for the good, bad, and the ugly. What can I say? What can I say? But anyway, that's the review today, people. And again, if you guys really love the content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear your comments down below. They mean a lot to me. I need to know if y'all are watching the videos anyway. So definitely appreciate it. I also leave links in the description for where you can purchase this. And keep in mind too, I did get my copy from monstermall.com. I'll leave their link down there as well. And I do have a promotional code that you can feel free to use at any time that gets you 10% off all their used films, as well as $1 off new movies. That also goes towards pre-orders as well. So I think last I checked, I think they were sold out of the pre-orders for the good, bad, and the ugly, but they still have copies of a few dollars more on there. And I definitely recommend you go through Monster Mall, pick this up, and use that code. Definitely use that code. That's Q the Movie Collector. Use that code. But anyway, it's been great, guys. I will chat with you guys soon, and talk to you guys later. Peace.